the years, I've gotten many questions about whether or not a person should hire an attorney. Like, people will come to me, like, they know that they're about to go to court, and they'll say to me, do I really need an attorney? You know, they're calling me, but they're questioning whether or not they really need an attorney, or whether they need counsel. And earlier in my career, I would kind of hesitate to say yes, because I felt that even though people are not saying it, they're really hesitant to hire an attorney because they may not want to make the investment. And I get that. But at the same time, there's nothing more important in our lives than our children. And we can't really allow for any shortcuts. So I say that if I need a dentist, if my tooth is about to fall out and my head is banging and my ears are banging because I have a toothache, I'm not going to call a dentist and ask if I need them. Like, I know that I need them. So stop playing. Like, I know that I need their services because I can't do this by myself. And if I could, it would have been done. So now I don't apologize. I don't hesitate to answer that question in the affirmative. If you think you need an attorney, if you're about to start this journey, then you do. You really need good counsel. But it's not enough to just get on the phone and call someone and say, okay, can you just, represent me in court? What you really need to do is to find good counsel from the very beginning. Because the way a lot of these cases work is the court finds out or gets an impression of you before you even walk into the courtroom. And that is through your application. And that's not something I think you should take lightly. I think too many people may try to just write down what they think they want, or write down why they think the other parent is not good. Let that be sent to the court or sent to the judge and think that's enough, and then get into court and expect to get the results they want. It just doesn't work that way. So I think you need to pick up the phone as soon as you know that you have a situation where you need to go into court and find a competent attorney. Now, what does that look like? Well, if you're asking me, what I think is really important, and this is what I've gained from my experience over the past 16, 20 years in practice, not just in family law, but in all my years of practice, is that it's really important to find someone who's going to listen to you. It's not enough to just get someone who wants to just take your case because they want to take their case and maybe build up their caseload. It's important to find someone who's going to listen to you and meet you where you are. You need to find someone who's going to be able to take your story, understand where you are, so that you can strategize about what steps to take next. You also want to find someone who's going to tell you the good and the bad. And I tell this to all of my clients from the very beginning. I am not here as just a hired gun, meaning that I'm not just going to have you tell me this is what you want me to do and how you want me to do it, and I'm just going to get it done that way. And I don't mean to sound harsh when I say that, but it doesn't serve you. You're going to hire me for my level of expertise. This is something I've done for years now, and not just me, but any other attorney that's in the picture. And you have to at least give that the level of respect that it deserves. We're trained to think a certain way. And even beyond that, if we've seen these cases, we've dealt with these judges, we've dealt with the same attorneys time and time again, there's value in what we're telling you, even if you don't agree. And oftentimes that may happen with clients. There's a lot of issues in family law, and especially in custody, that not everyone's going to understand, for one, or agree with how the outcome may be. So it's really important to listen to your attorney, to listen to their advice, and not to just expect them to do exactly what you want them to do, especially right when you walk in the door. If that's the case after you've heard their advice and you two strategize together, that's something very different. But it's important that you're willing to accept, and that your attorney is willing to tell you not only the good, but also the bad. Because when you understand what you can't do, then you'll be more effective at strategizing to get what it is that you want. I guess to summarize, it's important to find counsel. I wouldn't really advise going into court and representing yourself, especially when there's something so important at stake. when it comes to spending time with your children, seeing and meeting all their milestones with them, having custody, being able to be involved in what school they go to, they're determining what happens with their well-being. That to me is the essence of being a parent. And I think while we all may struggle at that, and while we may not be perfect, the court doesn't require us to be perfect. It just requires us to do what's in the best interest of our children. But there are times when things get a little tricky. Life happens. It happens to all of us, especially if we haven't been the model parent and we go through things, but then we want a second chance. And I think our kids would want us to have that, but we have to take the right steps in order to get